Hi there. Welcome to Craft with Kathie. To make something for Christmas, hence some of the embellishments I have out here. Not quite sure all of what I'm using yet. We'll see how it looks. But what I wanted to show you that is so absolutely cool is I'm going to be using the tiered tray to make this. I'm going to be using one of the trays from the tiered tray as my surface. And I'm going to be using the Reindeer chalkable chip. And I previously have painted the bottom tray for the tiered tray using the soda technique like I used yesterday on the nutcrackers. So if you're not familiar with that technique, go back and take a look at the nutcracker video. And I explain it in a little bit more detail, but basically I combined bark and black velvet paste and then added some baking soda to it, mixed it up, painted this, let it dry, came back over with some little streaks of dune and camel. I'm going to make it look a little bit more like wood. This is the bottom tray from the tiered tray. The tiered tray comes with both trays. There's little feet on the bottom tray. There's the posts in between so that you put it together, and it's a little tiered tray with a little knob at the top, and it works great for a tiered tray. However, they are tremendously discounted right now, and that will last until midnight Mountain Time. And I'm going to quickly run over what actually... Chalk has never done this, at least never since I've been with them, and I think it was a new thing, but they came up with a whole bevy of items that were $5 and $10, and I just want to share them with you really quick because they will be going away tonight. One of which is the reindeer. Let me actually open this up so you can see how big this is, and it's a beautiful deer. It goes great with the Reindeer Games transfer. And this is a chalkable shape, which means you could chalk on it. If you don't like it, erase it spritz it with water to erase it and reuse it. And obviously it's double-sided. So that's our chalkable shape, the reindeer. Let me give you an idea about how big it is. It's about 8 inches tall and about 8 inches wide. So a nice sized reindeer. And let me see if they're still in stock. The reindeer's still in stock. It's $5, but being that we have 10% off the website until tonight, it's actually $4.50 for this chalkable shape, which is a cool price. We also have a tree, a Christmas tree, the snowflakes. Let me see what other shapes are here. Some vintage ornaments, the nutcrackers. 4 different nutcrackers. These are 11 inches tall for $10, so they're actually $9.50 today. But the $5 and $10 specials will be gone tomorrow. So that's why I'm taking the time to share them with you right now. Oh, and the tiered tray's out of stock. It was $10. I do have some available, so if you have your heart set on this, just private message me or whatever. I didn't know it was out of stock when I checked earlier. It wasn't, but I really can't blame them for being out of stock. But anyway, I'm going to make this project anyway. Like I said, if you're interested, I've got a couple tiered trays, so just let me know. There's the Naughty and Nice chalkable shape. There are some bottle brush trees. There's the stained glass nativity with Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. I mean, it's just actually amazing. Look at the post before this. It's in the specials section of the website. So I just wanted anybody to know about them who might not be aware of the special. Okay, this is the Reindeer Games transfer that I'm going to use on this project. So let me get this out of the packaging. This is a C-size transfer. So it's 12 by 18 inches. Let me get this out of the packaging and we'll get moving on this project. is an amazing transfer. It could be done one and done, all in one color if you wanted, or you could do it in all different colors. I'm probably going to put this on a larger surface, but for tonight, I'm going to just use the deer. So I'm going to set this aside while I finish up this tray. And I'm going to put the deer aside. And because I cannot find my sponge sander, I'm going to just cut this nail file in pieces and use it to lightly sand the surface. I want it to look like wood, so I've previously painted it with my mixture, my soda mixture, and then I went over and added some streaks of Dune and camel. I'm just giving it a light little sanding here, so it looks a little bit like more like wood. I mean, yes, it is wood, but wood that was painted white. So I'm just gonna distress it a little bit. Same with the sides. I did paint the edges, but I don't think I'm going to do anything fancy with the edges. I'll distress the edges here, but I actually painted the rim too. So I'm going to do a little bit more distressing here, get rid of the dust, and then give this a little wax and we'll be good to go. If you're new to my page, comment new. If you'd like to be privy to more ideas, some inspiration and insider information, comment VIP and I will send you the link to my VIP group. Everyone other than other designers are welcome there. Company policy prohibits us from having designers in our private groups. So if you're not a designer, comment VIP and get in on what's going on. Got lots of projects for the DIYer, makers, creators of all types. Clean this up a little bit more, and then I'm going to wax this. You know what, maybe I'll set this aside. I just realized the center was a little damp. I probably should have waited. I thought it was totally dry. Let me hit this with my dryer tool. And then I'll continue and do the deer. Real simple, quick project here. And very, very economical. This is our quick dry tool. It looks like a heat gun, but it is not. It's just concentrated airflow so that it dries quickly but doesn't overheat the surface. And anytime you use it before you do anything else with the surface, you want it to allow it to come back to room temperature. Now let me clean things up a little bit, move this out of the way. And get on to putting the image on our little deer. Now, I'm only going to fuzz part of the transfer. And I have to think about how I want to use this. I don't even think I'm going to fully take it off the backing. I'm just going to fuzz the area that I'm going to use. If your transfer ever gets stuck to itself, just gently nudge or pull it apart, but very, very gently, because you don't want to stretch the silk screen. Our transfers are made out of vinyl and silk screen. I'm adding, whoops. Doesn't help that it's very warm in here right now. I'm putting my fuzzing, you know what, let me just take it off the whole thing. This is crazy to try and do it another way, I suppose. Our transfers are made out of vinyl and silk screen. The vinyl's the teal part, the silk screen you're seeing through. And the silk screen allows us, when we put the paste to it, paste over it, to go through the silk screen and to end up with a very nice, clear, smooth, and detailed finish on our surfaces. And when I fuzz it, I'm deliberately putting a little bit of lint on the back, because our transfers are adhesive back. I'm deliberately putting a little bit of lint on the back so the transfer doesn't stick quite as snugly. Now, our transfers, our newer transfers, are more translucent than our other transfers used to be. So they make it easier to line up and place. My hands are very warm. It's kind of warm in here, so bear with me, because the warmer my hands, the easier this is going to stick. You want to make sure that you don't have any air bubble underneath the silk screen. And I want to make sure this is down nice and tight. There's a lot of open area, a lot of silk screen area. I have an air bubble right here that I could see. I didn't feel it, but I could see it. So I'm just going to smooth it out. And it's still there. That happens sometimes when you've got a large expanse of silk screen. Pull this up and lay it back down. The only place that this is adhering is where it's teal, so it's a little bit trickier on a shape than it would be on a full surface. Just lifting and smoothing across. And I've got a bigger air bubble here. Okay, let me try those antlers again here. I think we're good to go. I'm a little stuck to my surface. Okay, an air bubble again by its little tail. Okay. Let me grab my paste. I'm going to use Nominee. If you don't have Nominee, you could use our gold shimmer. I can't really tell if they're air bubbles, I don't feel it, or if it's just the way the light's hitting my surface. It's kind of hard to see here. I think I'm fine. So, let's grab some paste, put it on my surface. I'm going to smooth it across. Make sure I get all the silk screen. Try and stay on the surface, because if it goes off onto the transfer and not the surface, I can't really scoop it off of there and put it back in the jar, because normally I put my excess paste back into the jar. I do have a little air bubble right there. I'll come back to it and see if it's okay or not. I went over it and I could see that the paste didn't go through it evenly. Worst comes to worst, I have to wash it off and do it over. No big deal. Our transfers are reusable 8 to 12 times. I'm going back over now, removing any lines, any excess paste, putting it back in the jar. I'm going to lift this area that I see the air bubble and check it out first. Yeah, I've got a little smudge there, but it's okay. I could clean that up when it dries. And those little lines are part of the design. Put this on the side, and I'll come back and clean it. Isn't this absolutely a beautiful deer? Here's a little smudge where there was the air bubble. When it dries, I'll come back with my little detail tool and basically just kind of etch that off. It'll be fine. I am going to sit this on the side to dry. Kind of get it out of my way for right now. Cover up my paste. Isn't this a beautiful paste? It was brought back for Black Friday. Okay, I'm going to show you how to clean this transfer really quick. I'm going to use a board eraser, which I have a new package out here somewhere, and of course I'm not seeing them now. Hello, it's right here. Oops. Our board eraser was intended for cleaning our boards or chalkboards, but actually you can use them to clean your transfers. They make it very quick and easy. I'm going to show you how quick and easy you could actually clean this transfer. Now, ideally, I would run it over to the sink and wash it off, but this is a little bit larger of a transfer, so if you don't have a big sink or a tub that you could do it in, you could actually do it on your surface. I'm spraying a little water on it, a little water on my board eraser, and watch how I make quick work of this. Gotten all the excess paste off of it onto my board eraser, which is reusable. Just run that under the faucet and squeeze the water out of it. Now I'm going to take a disinfecting wipe, go over it. I only chalk the deer part so I don't have paste anywhere else, so I really don't have to clean the top of it anywhere else. However, I do have to clean the bottom or the adhesive side all over because I fuzzed it all over, which means I put lint all over the back so that to diminish the stickiness a little bit. When our transfers are new, they're very, very sticky. So let me get the paste off of here first. Working on the area with the deer. Get all the paste off of that. And then I want to come back over my transfer and basically in one direction, just go across it to remove the lint that I deliberately applied. It's pretty easy to do. I'm working in a small area here, so I'm going to move it around a little bit. And look at, I've got a gob of paste there. Let me take that off. But I want to go across it in one direction, remove the lint, and then I will set this on a flat surface, sticky side up, to dry. And when it's dry, I will put it back on its backer sheet and then store it away for the next use. Our transfers are reusable 8 to 12 times or more. With proper use. And proper use is basically making sure that you get the paste out of the silk screen. If you're not sure, hold it up to the light. If you could see through the little fibers, then you know, and you don't see any paste in there, you know that you've cleaned it properly. And by removing the lint off the back. When you use a fuzzing towel or a fuzzing cloth. If you don't have a fuzzing cloth, you could always use a towel, a sweatshirt, a pair of jeans, whatever. Just anything that could apply a little bit of lint and diminish the stickiness. Now, our transfers can be used on metal, glass, mirror, wood, obviously chalkboards, dry erase boards, just about any flat surface you could think of. But when you're using it on a non-porous surface, think metal or mirror, you always want to fuzz quite a bit because these transfers will stick very snugly. And as you work, the longer the transfer sticks to the surface, the harder it's going to be to lift it up. So you fuzz, fuzz, fuzz to diminish the stickiness whenever you're doing metal or mirror or paper. And then it's not so difficult to lift up. Okay, so I'm going to put this on a flat surface and let it dry, and then put its backing sheet on it. Clean this up a little bit, and then we'll go back to the bottom tray of my tier tray. Excuse me. I'm going to take some of our surface wax in my little applicator, and I'm going to apply some wax to this surface, which the wax is going to deepen it up and make it look more like a wood grain. Obviously this is wood, but I wanted a darker, it was whitewashed and I wanted to darken it and distress it, which I did. I'm going to apply the surface wax all over, and then I'm going to buff it out. Now, I always wax my wood, even if it's already, if it was just whitewash, I'd still wax it, because I like to put a barrier between my transfer and my wood, because I don't want my transfer pulling up any slivers or paint or particles of wood when I lift it up. I don't want that sticking to the adhesive part of my transfer. And it also acts as a little bit of barrier when I put chalk paste, so if I make a little mistake, I might be able to lift it off before the paste seeps into the wood. The pigment of the paste seeps into the wood. Okay, I'm going to go around the edges a little bit with this because the wax is darkening it, and I want it to have a consistent look to it. Now, I could have used paint, or I could have used actually a stain on here, but I like just using I had some left over from when I did the nutcrackers the other day, so I just used the same chalk paste. Okay, I've got that applied. Now I'm going to basically rub it off or buff it off. And I actually have some there. The thing with the tier trays is there's a little hole in here that I did not. I could have hit it with wood filler, but as it's going to be hidden with the deer, I figured why bother putting the wood filler in it. So I'm going to make sure I buff all this off. Like I said, I wanted a kind of distressed, weathered look, and I think I achieved it with this. If you're new to chalking, comment new below, and I'll point you in the direction of some how-to videos. It's a wonderful medium to use and allows you to create quick and easy home decor and more. And I'm happy to share any of my techniques or knowledge or background with you. This isn't quite dry yet, so let me hit it with my heat tool. Well, that was quick and easy. If you don't have a heat tool, it's not a heat gun. It is actually concentrated cooler air. You could use a hair dryer. That'll work fine. Just make sure that your surface cools before you do anything else with it. I'm not seeing the area where the where there was a smudge now. Is that funny? I do have a little bit of a bleed right here, right on the bottom, this little edge. So all I have to do is hit it with my detail tool and just scrape it off. This is made out of some kind of silicone or whatever. It's not going to actually scratch the surface, but it'll basically etch it off. Well, that's weird. I can't see where that air bubble was. Huh, looks like it dried fine. Okay. So I want to attach it to my surface, and I'm going to use, I've never tried this. We'll see if it works. It's supposed to be like museum, I want to say museum glue. Oh, I can't think of what it's called. Basically, when you have artifacts in a museum, you can get it to stick to the surface and not move in case somebody bumps something. You don't want something to tip over. And that's what this is for. I did not buy it for, oh, that's not, yeah, that'll work. I didn't buy it for this purpose, but let's try it. I was going to hot glue it, but this is actually removable, so much the better. So if I want to deconstruct this and use the surface for something in the spring, then I should be able to do that. I actually, after I was finished with the project, took it apart, distressed my surface a little bit more, and then added about 4 layers of the museum tape to basically make my deer stand out from the back of the surface. Gave it a little bit more of a 3-dimensional look, and it worked out wonderfully. I really was happy with it. It was a little challenging lifting it off, but a little patience and it came up, and then it was easy to add it back on. And you could see how the hole in the center for the tier tray is hidden by the deer. Then I have a little greenery here. I didn't know if I was going to need any ribbon or not. Yes, I know I should be using a wire cutters. I really do like the museum tape. It made it so much easier to put take the foliage off and then add it back on after I distressed the surface a little bit more. And I was even able to add my little ribbon around the deer's neck that I had forgotten to do earlier. So it really is great. And no burnt fingers with a hot glue gun, no waiting for the hot glue gun to warm up. I'm impressed. Really like it. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be a designer for Chalk Couture, it is absolutely amazing. I knew from the moment I saw my first video of a project that that's what I wanted to do, and there's been no looking back. It's been a fun ride. I've enjoyed it. Lots of a group with a lot of creativity and just so much to offer. The company has absolutely so much to offer. It's a great way to have fun and make a little bit money on the same time. You could do it part-time, you could do it full-time, you could do it to save money on your projects, or you could just do it if you're a maker and sell things. Lots of different reasons to get involved with it. We have a special going on right now. It ends tonight, but our perks pack is what it's called, and it has $277 worth of merchandise in it for only $59, and then you become a designer and get a substantial discount on supplies. Do we need a bow or not? What do you think? So you can go to the same page as the specials and find out more about becoming a designer. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Let's see if I can make a little bow here and just add. I don't want to overshadow the deer by any means, so I picked some real thin ribbon. I've added the link to becoming a designer in the description for this video. You can check that out or comment team, and I will send you a link to another video that talks all about it. No obligation, of course, whatsoever. Like I said, I knew from the moment I saw that and realized this was erasable and reusable on so many surfaces, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And it's such a wonderful group of creative designers. It's always fun, interesting, and if you're looking for a new hobby or to add to your income, it really is the way to go. The company is very receptive, and I really can't say anything more positive about them. How quick and easy was that? And we made it from real inexpensive surfaces. The bottom tray of the tier tray, which now I have another idea for the top tray. This little chalkable chip, and basically this can be reused, or you could change. Oh, I forgot I was going to put a bow around its neck. That's okay. I don't think it needs it. What do you think? All I need to do is add a little sawtooth hanger to the back and we're good to go. Hang on, and I'll include some pics of how I enhance this a little bit more, and actually also a pic of what comes in the perks pack. And like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to either direct message me or just comment, and I will be happy to get back to you regarding this project or anything else. So just a little rehash. I took off the deer, added the bow, bumped up the deer by adding layers of the museum tape, distressed the surface a little bit more, especially the edges. What do you think? Here's the holiday perks pack. Like I said, it's $277 a product in the US, $360 for Canadian, for only $59 in the US or $76 Canadian. You can also join for just $10, but with no product. The perks pack is absolutely an amazing deal. There's multiple surfaces, multiple transfers, 2 full 3-ounce jars of paste, 2 sets of the individual packets of the 6 individual packets of paste in different colors. It's just absolutely amazing, plus some tools and whatever else. It's really, really a great deal. If you'd actually like a list of all what's included, just contact me and I'll be happy to send that to you. Again, thanks so much for watching this evening. I appreciate it. See you soon.